Welcome, race fans, to the Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight for Southern Spoon Racing League action. And let me get this live on Facebook real quick. And we are running a little behind. Apologies for that, but we are getting up and running once IRTVO decides to cooperate. We will be good to go, and we'll be able to give you your starting grid tonight. But we are in Charlotte for Southern Spoon All-Star Race action with the NASCAR Cup cars featured in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at the ever-famous Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.5-mile oval. And it's totally on me being a little bit behind, but we're getting things up and running. IRTVO is being a little bit picky, but if we can actually should be able to get the cameras at least cycled around to the right driver. We can. So, let's see. We've got the 97 on hold and Sam Devins here. And again, as soon as IRTVO decides to cooperate, we'll get the normal overlay on your screen. So for now, we've got what we've got. IRTVO is being a little bit finicky. I think it's finally coming up now. I updated to Windows 10 this morning, and I think that's affecting what's going on here. I was on Windows 8 before just because I preferred it. IRTVO, again, is giving me a bit of a fit. So you're seeing exactly where, alright. So, I'm not going to be able to get you the starting lineup tonight, unfortunately. But we do get to actually have it. So we're good to go. 97 rolls off and away. Again, that Sam Devins here, 97 jump on that restart, and I think he was just following lead protocol. I think he just went his car went, and he will get this immense lead already. You can see over the 69 as he was in the lead, Big Corn. So that's I believe these guys just have their names up as their streaming profiles. So I believe Big Corn would be how you would find. Sorry, let's get the volume down. I believe Big Corn would be how you would find the number 69. So I'm not sure on his actual name. I believe these guys all just work off of their streaming profiles. So I think that's what's up there. I think that's why you just see Big Corn in for the 69 car. But it's certainly interesting. So you see Mark Emerson now in the number 22 car into the second position in that Coca-Cola machine. And that's actually a very, very nice paint scheme. He is just rolling off and away, second place. And let's see, he's currently ahead of the 23, just listed as Vibe. And we'll actually take up the driver information here on the bottom of your screen. And again, he's just listed as Vibe in the 23 Chevrolet. Get a different camera on screen as well. In fourth place, we've got the number 30 of Schmier. That's a very nice tide ride that he's got going there, the Chevrolet SS. The 26 car just listed as Stevo. And I have some notes that I actually need to go find right now, as these guys are roaring on by. You probably hear them almost as loud as you hear me, so I'll move that down a little bit. But I can get to some notes here that will be rather important for this race. Now, I will inform you all that this is a 90-lap race, as you can see on the top left of your screen. And these first 50 laps will make up stage 1, followed by two 20-lap segments finishing the race off. Now, real quick, I'm just going to let this roll as kind of a crank it up session and let you guys see the sights and sounds around the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I will be right back. ladies and gentlemen, as I settle in. Just a little bit behind. That's totally my bad. I want to apologize first off to everyone here. I was a little behind. I saw the time wrong, and so I thought I still had some more time when I came into the session, and so that's why we are so behind. But I have some notes for you here, so we're going to get back to our normal TV cameras. Actually, the 26, is that who that was? 26 or 23? 23 Vi, that's Terry Silvers. As I was just getting the information up on exactly who everyone is, that's Terry Silvers Vibe in the 23 going through the grass. He barely hangs on to that number 23 machine. He will continue on though, and looks like he just loses some time, but he will get back rolling, and no harm, no foul. He's back to normal racing. Now I want to go through some of these other guys. We've got Steve-O as he is listed. That is Steven Turner in the number, let's see, the number 26, Winston Chevrolet. So that is Steven Turner there. And we already got Mark Emerson up in the front. He's actually made the pass for the lead as he is currently battling with the 97 of Sam Devontier. These guys do have their names listed in the iRacing League. And so we'll watch this battle here as we get caught up. But again, these guys are racing for the first 50 laps in segment 1 of this All-Star race, which means these guys shouldn't have to pit. I could be wrong, but I believe these tires and gas will hold up. But a caution is out in the back, and we'll get exactly what that was up on your screen. Looks like that may have been the 28 of Timothy Cook, and definitely you see the mangled number 28 there with the Mountain Dew sponsorship adorning it. You see the 2 and the 69 also involved. That's Big Corn, and I'll get exactly who that is in just a moment. And actually, it doesn't show me in my notes here to go off of, so I'm not sure on who Big Corn is, but that's an interesting name nonetheless. Scripted PRN would be Ricky Wall in the number 2 FedEx Toyota Camry. He's also just completely totaled. You see the front with a ton of damage. The rear end is just absolutely mangled up as well, and I don't think that FedEx Express machine will be moving very expressly anytime soon, not after that one. So he's got a lot of damage as well, and we'll get the replay up on your screen now. Go back another 20 seconds and see exactly what happens here to bring out this first caution of the night. You see the 2 actually gets into the 3 car. The 3 car is going to be, let me find him, Hints. That's all it says for his name. So the 3 car of Hints. Again, I believe these are their streaming profiles on Twitch and YouTube. He got into the 3 car, got him around. I don't think it was anything intentional, but you see the absolute aftermath behind it. And yeah, we'll take another look at this. You also see the 28 and 69 actually were just in their own incident. I think they were possibly trying to avoid something. The 28, Timothy Cook, as we already documented in that car tonight. We'll see what happens to him in the Mountain Dew machine. He was racing with a very Kyle Busch looking car. Actually, it has the same number on it as in the Cup Series. You see him get real loose actually through the quad oval. He comes up into the 69 and then comes back across the track as he was trying to hang onto the car, and you see him and the 69 of, actually I lost, yeah, that was Big Corn in the 69. So there's Big Corn and Huge Corn. You might notice that on your ticker across the top of your screen. So again, not the most for me to work with, but I'll do my best out here as that is my job. Up at the front though, Mark Emerson continuing to lead this race. And these guys again, this is their All-Star race. I'll bring that logo back up on your screen. This is the Southern Spoon All-Star race in the Southern Spoon Cup Series. Now, these guys, I haven't covered one of their races ever before. They're totally new names to me, but we do have one small sliver of familiarity. Let me track him down real quick. That's going to be Trevor Harmon, the number 29, right there. Number 29, Trevor Harmon. We saw him in the NMNTS Racing Series this past week, as he is one of the new guys over in the NMNTS Racing Series. So it's nice to see him adorning our colors on his Cup car. And that car, actually, that paint scheme is modeled after his real race car, his dirt street stock that he races in Arizona. So it's nice to see that paint scheme on his car, representing his real racing career. So that is Trevor Harmon. We're not going to get any interviews in on this caution. We'll try for the next one. And as I pull up the chat, actually, if I can find the chat. Let me go over to the Facebook stream. But if you are watching and you have any suggestions as to who we should interview, just let me know, and I will do my best to interview whichever driver I see the most in the comments. Actually, let me share this to some groups and actually get it out there. But thank you either way, everyone tuning in, either now live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, or later on YouTube, as it should actually. Hopefully, it's on there. I'm not sure if it actually is. Let me check our YouTube and see if it's there. But you can see Trevor Harmon in the PSI TV Chevrolet, and we'll break away from him to go back up to the lead. Mark Emerson now has, actually no, he's still in the lead. He is electing to stay on the bottom line for this restart. I'm not sure if they have the option to go to the top line, if they're restarting first or not. But we'll see if anyone does that, and obviously if they do, then they have the option. He will be starting alongside, I believe it was Steven Turner, listed as Steve-O in the number 26 car. And honestly, some really good-looking paint schemes. I know some are modeled after real paint schemes in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and obviously some are custom, as you can see on the 48, the 26, and the 97, and some others. But as these guys get rolling for their first restart of the night, let me see if we are actually live on our YouTube channel. And for whatever reason, we are not. We may have to actually manually set it up. Coming down through the quad, we see the 22 get on the gas. Mark Emerson off and away with a huge jump, similar to the previous start from the 97 of Sam Devontier. Mark Emerson just pulling away a huge lead right there, already building for that number 22 Coca-Cola Ford Fusion. Let's see, let's try and get our YouTube back up and running. Either way, this will later be uploaded to YouTube, so you can catch it there, even if you don't catch it live. And I want to mention, these Cup cars have been updated a bunch in the past couple of years to model, or more closely model, the real-life Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series cars. Obviously, you see the Ford Fusion, Toyota Camry, and Chevy SS, as you saw in 2017. The Chevrolet Camaro is on its way to match the 2018 cars that will be in competition. Obviously, Chevy has shifted over to the Chevy Camaro. We saw those debut today at Daytona International Speedway on Fox and Fox Sports 1. If you didn't tune in, you should definitely tune in tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series Clash. And another news, though, back to the live race here. Mark Emerson just pulling away with a huge lead. You can see him well ahead. We'll actually shift to his gearbox camera here and see if we can show you just the level of the gap building behind this 22. He hasn't totally checked out from the 48 of, I believe, is that going to be Levi Cox? Levi Cox in the 48. He hasn't totally checked out, but it's certainly a pretty decent lead when it comes to Charlotte Motor Speedway in this new package, and you see him pull another pretty big gap through turns 1 and 2. Seems like he's strong through 1 and 2, maybe not so strong through 3 and 4. We'll see what happens here with the 48, see if he can gain on Emerson at all. Actually, no, Emerson's going to pull back away. Seems like Emerson was possibly saving it first on those first couple of laps of this short run so far. Sam Devontier currently just lingering there in the 3rd position right now. We'll switch back to the 97 there. Currently doing battle with Levi Cox, trying to get up into the 2nd spot and get by that Lowe's Cobalt machine. Moving further back, Steve Turner is currently battling with Schmier. I'm not sure who that is necessarily in the 30 car. He's just listed in the league as Schmier, so we'll see this battle going on. Further back, a guy who's just listed as Alec, currently doing battle with Kabar Kenny. And Trevor Harmon was a little further back, and these guys pretty much in their battle, though, so if either one of them make a mistake, Trevor will certainly be there. And just continuing through the field, we've got Vibe, which is Terry Silvers in the 23. We saw him go for his big spill just a little while ago down the front straightaway, or actually the quad oval down the front stretch. And luckily, he hung on to the car. He will continue on. Terry Silvers still in good shape. Has some right rear damage, but I think he'll be fine, especially with another pit stop or two to get that banged out the rest of the way. John Peterson in the number 20 trailing him, trying to get by him. And that's actually a pretty cool paint scheme as well. The DeWalt Flex Volt paint scheme. Is that? I can't tell if that's a custom or a replica of an Eric Jones paint scheme, but we'll see. I think that might just be a custom based on a couple of different things there with the number 20 car of the last few years. Eddie Trejo currently in the 11th spot in the number 11 car. He has Haas on the hood and fenders. You see he's got a little bit of damage from that previous wreck. He was involved very, very slightly. Didn't have a whole lot of damage. Still doesn't have a whole lot of damage, but it is probably affecting his car. You can see there's a little damage to the right rear where it would matter on the that side of the spoiler. Obviously some damage to the right front as well, so that could be loosening his car up. You saw him bobble a bunch out of turn 4, but these cars are naturally loose, especially at a place like Charlotte Motor Speedway, where generally you have pretty warm temperatures. And actually, that brings me into what I wanted to talk about. We'll switch to the blimp camera. And the weather here tonight at Charlotte is about 65 degrees, 0% humidity, and the forecast is overcast. So it's actually not warm at all. That is as cold as you can get it. So this is this race weather. Obviously, this is on a sim. This is iRacing.com. So this race weather is set up to be as grippy as you can get it here at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. So yeah, I think that damage is probably what's impacting that 11 car rather of Eddie Trejo, getting him loose out of turn 4 just a couple of laps ago. Now I am alone tonight as we continue through the field. I am alone tonight. Brendan Elsoff could not make it. Zach Lindgren could not make it. I know Brendan is dealing with a Toyota Matrix, but I'm not sure about Zach. And you see the 16 on screen right here, Soundwave ZL1. That's all we've got for him. I'll actually see if he was in my notes. I don't think anyone else was. But we'll check real quick if he was in my notes of guys to keep in mind. And no, I don't see him on my list. So we'll just know him as Soundwave ZL1. I kind of like the name, actually. He is currently running in the 12th position. Huge Corn in the 96. That name, I'll never get used to that name at all. That's something right there. But the 96 Valvoline Forward Fusion, as you can see, very mangled. Just trying to limp around the speedway. Actually, he gets into the wall there. He's definitely under power, and the car can't be handling right after that first caution. He may be getting ready to pull the car off, so we'll switch to someone who's just listed as Canadia in the 12th or 13th spot. We'll be taking over 12th in a moment in a paint scheme modeled after AJ Allmendinger. You can see it on the name rail. Actually, he's in the fence, and he's going to go spinning through the grass, hangs onto it just barely. But Canadia, as we know him, having troubles here. He just nailed the wall out of turn 4. He's going to go through the grass for a bit of a spill. He gets control of it, though. He'll continue on, no caution. So no harm, no foul. Actually, he's getting loose on the apron now. He might be trying to hold down there for the leaders. And this will bring us to someone who we just know as Hints. We saw him get turned around under the first yellow. And he's, I think, just trying to limp his car around as well. A ton of damage to that Southern Spoon machine with the number 3 on it. Moving further back, Big Corn still limping around the racetrack in the number 69. He started second, currently running in the 16th position. I have no notes on him, but I do have notes on Scripted PRN, and that would be, let's see, Ricky Wall. He was 5th in trucks, the Xfinity Series champion, and had one win in the Xfinity Series last season in the Southern Spoon Racing League. So he made some noise, clearly, if he was the champion. Timothy Cook also in the pits. I don't have any notes on him either. Back up to the front, Mark Emerson still has a pretty decent lead, and actually it's grown to 2.5 seconds just about. We'll go for a wider shot just to show the magnitude of this league for the number 22 car. He's pretty much just out in his own zip code. We'll even go to the gearbox camera to show you what I showed earlier. And again, you see the huge lead all the way back to the number 48 of Levi Cox, just entering the center of turns 3 and 4 now. And so, obviously, this 22 car is hooked up and on the move. Obviously, he can't pass anyone else. He's already in the lead. But if there was cars to pass, actually, he's passing some lapped cars here. So I guess there were some cars that he could pass technically, as he is, again, just on rails right now, flying through these 90 laps so far. And we'll show you the gyro cam now around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Obviously there's some pretty steep banking here, just like most NASCAR speedways, especially the big ones like Charlotte, or even going up all the way to the size of Daytona and Talladega. But I believe Charlotte has about 23, 24 degrees of banking. I can fact check that under caution. But you can see the transition into the banking here for these cars. It's rather aggressive, and that's why the tires wear out so much. So if you're new to NASCAR racing at all, that would be exactly what causes all of the tire wear right there. Just shifting into that really aggressive banking around the corners here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But again, Mark Emerson now up to a 3-second lead, just pulling away from the competition, literally checking out. He's entered his own zip code now, as you see the 48 and 26, Levi Cox and Steve Turner. I think pretty much just trying to work up to that 22. We could possibly see them do battle here pretty soon, as you see the 26 trying to get to that bottom side and trying to gain a little bit of ground on Levi Cox. Hasn't found it just yet. We'll go to his onboard camera down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4. Can't exactly find the grip he needs just yet. And caution falls back upon the speedway with just 15 laps to go in the first segment. I believe that was the 16. It was Soundwave ZL1 involved in this caution, so we'll go back and try and get a replay. Actually, no, I think he was already in the pits. That may have been Canada again, so yeah, that was definitely the 47 car. So we'll go back, see what happens to him. This was just in front of both Alec and Trevor Harmon. We'll see what he actually just gets tight back into the fence like we saw him do a little while ago. And he does affect Trevor Harmon, as well as the 72 car. Trevor Harmon gets a bunch of damage, and you'll see the 47 come back across the track. I think he'll end up plowing into the pit wall. He does, right in front of the pace car, ironically. And so a ton of damage to that 47 Kroger clickless machine. Doesn't look like he'll be going anywhere fast anytime soon. But actually, to the 29 car, we'll see just how bad that affected him. Trevor Harmon looks like he just has some right front damage, possibly some nose damage as well. Looked like it wasn't the worst situation for him. We'll go to his onboard, watching the 47 plow into the fence there out of turn 4, and just nowhere for Trevor to go. And then he's trying to save the car and ends up getting the double whammy pretty much from the 27. But he continues on, locked the brakes down, got it straightened out. The 72, actually, Gabar Kenny ends up with more damage than Trevor in the 29 did. So we'll go back and see what happens to Kenny here out of turn number 4. In the Denver Mattress Chevrolet SS, he just has nowhere to go other than right into the back of the 47. Ends up getting hit by the 23, I believe, of Terry Silvers. And you can see the damage done to the 72 car there. Mark Emerson has come in for his pit stop. He will go or give over the lead to Steven Turner. Steven Turner, I believe, pitted the last time we had a caution. So I believe he pitted the previous caution. Will stay out this time. I could be totally wrong. However, obviously we see him in the lead now. Bump drafting the pace car just a little bit through turns 3 and 4. And Terry Silvers now into the second position. Eddie Trejo in third. Mark Emerson will move into fourth, with Schmier in fifth. And actually, it looks like Steve-O was just staying out to get a lap led, as well as Terry Silvers and Eddie Trejo. So now Mark Emerson back into the lead. The number 22 car put him back on point. Well, I was going to try and line up an interview for you all. Unfortunately, it looks like I can't interview you guys, so I'll message Mark after the race and make sure he knows that. But anyways, moving on with the race, Mark Emerson is your leader. We're going to go to a quick commercial break to fill out this caution, and I will be right back.
racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Southern Spoon All-Star Race. These guys are coming around to restart the race in just a moment. And again, we are at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup cars. You can see them pacing out of turn 4. We're going to wait on the call from the 22 to get restarted. He's off and away on the loud pedal, getting a huge jump over the 30 of of Schmier and the 18 of Alec. And he will gain already about a 10-car length lead into turns 1 and 2. Mark Emerson is already on it. And again, a huge lead for the 22 Coca-Cola machine, just as we saw on the previous restart. And yeah, already making it known that he's here not only to run well, but obviously to win. I mean, he's just pulling away. I really don't know how else to explain just the huge lead that he gets on these restarts and how he's able to just pull away under these runs. I do see on my notes he has the Season 2 Truck Series Championship, along with 3 wins in their Truck Series at Kansas, Charlotte, and Phoenix. Obviously Kansas and especially Charlotte, very close, or the same track that we are at here tonight, so that could explain quite a bit of his success. As you see the field file out of turn 4, single file, 50 laps to go, and 49 laps now to go here in this 90-lap event. Now, as we enter the final 10 laps of Stage 1, there are 3 overall stages or segments here tonight, the first of which will run 50 laps, and we're already through 41 actually of those laps, I believe. And we have 2 more stages to go after that. Those will each be 20 laps apiece, and that will be the All-Star Race, the Southern Spoon All-Star Race here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, obviously tire strategy not going to be really an issue here tonight. Neither will fuel strategy by any means, considering these guys have already had 2 cautions come into the pits, and all of them have topped off on fuel at least one time, if not twice. So, fuel and tire strategy not going to be an issue for them, or for anyone on this field, and they get to just run it out now, really put caution to the wind and see what they've got in their Cup cars. I didn't have the chance to check, but I believe this is a fixed setup race, and you can see Marky Emerson just pulling away. Although, I will say the 30 car of Schmier the Tide Ride has hung on the best of anyone so far in one of these restarts. He is still really, really close to the 22 of Marky Emerson. We'll now look from the nose camera, and you can see the 22 is not gone just yet. So he might still be able to do something here. He might still be able to have something to say regarding the lead of the 22 of Mark Emerson. We'll see what happens, obviously, over the course of the run. Tanner Webb saying it's a shame he got damage in that starter wreck. Tanner, what number were you? Because there were some names there that, obviously we don't know, or I don't know as an incoming broadcaster for the series, so I'm not totally certain on who everyone was. And actually, the battle is starting to pick up between the 48 of Levi Cox and the 30 of Schmier. All right, so the 30 was, I believe, or not the 30. Tanner Webb out in the chat, I believe, was Soundwave ZL1. That sounds right to me. I'll actually check. Yeah, Soundwave ZL1. We saw him just a little bit before he ended up in that initial wreck that brought out the first caution of the night. And now you see the battle starting again to heat up between second, third, and fourth. A secondary battle just behind these guys for fifth. Starting up between, I actually didn't catch the name, Sam Devontier in the 97 and Steven Turner in the 26. But I think these guys pretty soon are all just going to be one big battle. Actually, you see the 26 making a move through the quad oval, getting to the bottom side, and that's going to be important for turns 1 and 2. He's now on the preferred line, through turns 1 and 2. He should be able to move up and clear Devontier out of turn 2, and he does rather easily. The Winston number 26 now into 5th place. He now gets to make moves on the 18. And I want to thank everyone over on Twitch following Pit Stop TV as you see Steven Turner make the move on the 18. Alec now moving back to 5th, trying to block Sam Devontier into turns 3 and 4. That's not going to work out for him. You see the 97 get to the bottom side, making the move, trying to get by the M&M's machine. And caution out, caution going to be out ahead of them as the 48 of Levi Cox goes for a spill. And he was definitely assisted around there by the 26 of Steven Turner. And that will be your stage caution. Yeah, that will be the end of segment 1. They may have been racing back to segment 1. That may have been what sparked that really aggressive racing there for that position, since it was not even in the lead. That was a few positions back. I believe that was for 3rd place or so. Or 4th place, I think, actually, with the 48 of Levi Cox and the 26 of Steven Turner. We'll get a replay there on exactly what happens. That was for the 3rd position. Levi Cox just gets really run into by the 26. I think it all just happened so quickly, though, that Steven Turner had no chance to check up. And so Steve-O gets into the 48. Levi Cox sending him around. We'll go to the onboard of Steven Turner and get his view of exactly what happens. I think the 48 has been trying to work the top side all night. You see him dip down a little bit low. And I think he just gets tight out of the corner, has to check up, and just nowhere for Steve-O to really go. And so, you know, I think both sides maybe could have played that one out differently for themselves, but at the same time, it's just racing. That sometimes happens, especially at a place like Charlotte Motor Speedway. And now Levi Cox will actually take the lead. Actually, that can't be right. No, it's showing him in the lead on my I can't even think right now. He is showing in first on my results. Sorry, I totally blanked. I'm a brain fart. Sometimes happens when you're commentating one of these races alone, but yeah, I think he stayed out the first time to get the lap led. He will come in now and get repairs made to that 48 car. You see a ton of damage there on the close-up. And yeah, he's going to need those repairs to the 48. Well, actually, you know what? We'll go on board with him into his pit stall from the visor cam. Let's go on board. We won't get to see the animated pit crew, unfortunately, because we are not the 48 driver. So we'll see as his car... Actually, he overshot his pit box. Yeah, he initially overshot his pit box. He had to back into it, and he will now get service done to that number 48. And we'll go back up to the front. Mark Emerson will reassume the lead going into the second and middle segment of tonight's Southern Spoon All-Star Race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to take this time to get a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You can see there's still 8 cars in the lead group. Actually, you can't see right now because there is the All-Star Race logo in the way, but you can see now there are 8 cars still in the main group here. And we'll actually cycle through them all. Mark Emerson currently in first. He's led most of this race. In fact, he has led a total of 44 laps already. We've only run just over 50, so that goes to show how much he's led. Sam Devontier currently in second place to Emerson's outside. Then you got Eddie Trejo in the 11 car in third, followed by Trevor Harmon on the outside of him in fourth. Steven Turner on the inside of row number 3 in the 26 car will be fifth. Terry Silvers on his outside in Vibe, or known as Vibe in the league, in the 23 will restart 6th, followed by John M. Peterson in 7th and Alec in 8th in the 18. But back up to the front, Mark Emerson coming to the line, getting ready to restart the race. He's off and away on the loud pedal, and he will get this race back underway. Oh, and a big move for Sam Devontier. He's pulling off. I'm not sure what's happened to the 97. I can't even keep up with him. He's falling way back. He may have gotten a penalty of some sort. He's going to fall all the way back. No, he doesn't have a penalty. He's going to keep going. I'm not sure what that was about. We'll go back and get a replay on this. It all happened so quickly down the back straightaway. He literally just peeled off. He may have had some kind of malfunction. I'm not sure what happened there to the 97 car of Sam Devontier, but he had a promising start to this race, and now he's falling all the way back. Let's see, what position is he in now? He's currently in the 11th spot now. He fell all the way out of the top 10, and he was running third place. He was moving forward. He had a great run going. I'm not sure what happened, but he's fallen all the way back in this field to even behind the 3 car who was wrecked out in the first yellow of the night. He is getting back rolling and getting moving again. We saw him get up to 200 miles an hour off into turn 1. So that's kind of impressive at the very least. But back up to the front, Mark Emerson is your leader, and with a pretty comfortable lead at that out of his gearbox. You can see from the rear bumper all the way back to that 11 car now in second place. And I'm sorry, that is the 26 now, Steven Turner in second place. He has made the move around Eddie Trejo and has cleared him by almost a second, about 0.8 of a second so far, to take over that second place position. The Winston Chevrolet looking pretty stout, honestly, even with that incident just a little while ago with the 48 of Levi Cox. But here comes Eddie Trejo back around on the bottom side, and he's going to make the move for second place. Eddie Trejo now back into second, but he's going to get crossed back over by the 26 car on the outside. So the 26 battling back, Steven Turner on the top side. They'll enter turns 3 and 4. Trejo too far back to make a move. He won't be able to do anything with him in turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he can gear up for a run at him into turns 1 and 2. He won't this time. He's still too far back. Doesn't have enough of a run, but that Haas CNC Chevrolet looking good despite the right side damage to that car. So he's nursing it pretty well, and if this is an open setup race, he's obviously got a really good setup underneath that 11 car. So again, as we watch Eddie Trejo here, currently in front of Trevor Harmon. Trevor Harmon in the 4th position has gotten around Terry Silvers and is currently riding around pretty much in that number 29 Chevy SS. He's got some front end damage still from a couple of cautions ago with the 47 and the 72. But Trevor Harmon nursing that number 29 Chevrolet to a 4th place run so far, looking pretty good for him. Back up to the lead, though, is actually Trevor Harmon is now taking over the 3rd position. What happened to Eddie Trejo? I'm not totally certain what just happened to him, but he's now going to fall all the way back, and he has big issues. We'll see what happens here. I think something happened in turn 2, possibly. This was about a lap ago through the quad oval. We'll see what happens to the Haas CNC machine. I really have no clue. That's kind of bizarre. He actually, yeah, he gets loose into turns 1 and 2. A great save by Eddie Trejo. He will keep going. Wow, that was an insane save. He'll hang on to the car, and I think I recognize that name a little bit from some dirt racing. If not, I'm totally way off base. But if I do recognize that name from dirt racing, then I think that's some dirt experience paying off for Eddie, and he will somehow keep that car underneath him. 8 laps to go until the segment break, but Trevor Harmon now into the 3rd position, but having to deal with fire from Terry Silvers. Terry Silvers trying to put the pressure on. So as we see, Terry Silvers still trying to put the pressure on Trevor Harmon. It's not working out for him. He's actually losing ground to that number 29. And it looks like Trevor Harmon going to be able to pull up a bit of a gap on Terry Silvers down the back straightaway. Actually, Terry Silvers trying to work with the draft, trying to catch back up. You see, he's just not going away. That Twitch TV machine is still there. And I believe the other bit of sponsorship on the hood is his Twitch channel, so you can check him out. I'm not sure on it what the name is exactly, but you can check him out. If we ever get a chance to look at the back end of the car, we might be able to show that for you. But he is listed as Vibes. That might help a little bit. And to the lead, though, Mark Emerson still up front. We'll see exactly how many laps he's led so far. That's going to be 57 of 65 laps. So he's only missed 7 laps. I think it's actually 6. I could be wrong. But either way, just an incredible run for this number 22 of Mark Emerson. Obviously, I haven't been here for any previous races in the league, so I'm not sure if he does this all the time or if this is just a one-time thing. But that number 22, Mark Emerson, is really just flying tonight, and we'll see exactly how fast he gets up to here as we ride on board with him. Down the front straightaway, we'll see how fast he gets for about a lap or so. And this 22 is really just hooked up. I mean, there's no other way to put it. We don't see him dealing with the loose-off issues that we've seen from some other guys. We don't see him tight in or tight off or loose in. We saw that with the number 11 just a little while ago. We don't see him really having any issues. This number 22 is just so hooked up right now. It's so bizarre to see a car handle this well at Charlotte Motor Speedway, especially a Cup car almost to 200 miles an hour before they get down into turns 1 and 2. Just really running so well right now, and this is a little ways into the run. You see they're nearing the end of the 2nd stage already, and this 22, wow, I really am just kind of blown away by how well it's running right now. You see it get down to 160 in turns 3 and 4. Watch one more time into turn 1, just doing so good. And actually, there's the stage break, so we won't get to see the speed in turn 1. But Mark Emerson has now won both segments 1 and 2. Can he do it again to finish off the night? You'll see Steve Turner right back on the back end of that number 22, and this actually gives us the perfect chance to check out the back end of the 23. We'll get to the 30 here so we can try and show it off. if we get the chance, I'll show everyone his Twitch channel. Looks like it's going to be Vibration Crage. That's... I want to make sure I saw that right. We'll see if we can get another look at it here into the pit lane. That is what it looks like it says. So if you can make that out, you can head on over to Terry Silver's channel and watch, I believe, probably his perspective of many other races in addition to this one. But under this caution, we'll use it as one more commercial break, and we will be right back with the final segment of action here from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See,
I did cut that last commercial short just since we wanted to come back before the green flag. So we are getting ready to go back green for the final segment of action here in the Southern Spoon All-Star race. And this time, it's not going to be Mark Emerson on point for the restart. It's going to be John M. Peterson with the call out of turn 4. So we'll wait for the number 20 DeWalt FlexVolt machine to get going out of turn 4. You see him enter the restart zone, and we'll wait on the call. There he goes. The Camry getting squirrely from the start, and actually he's going to be slow. Mark Emerson had to dive low and pass him before the start and finish line. I think that penalty will be waived because of the fact that Mark Emerson was avoiding a wreck almost. And wow, further back, a wreck almost is caused with the, I think that was the 97 possibly going backwards. I'm not sure who that was, maybe the 30. And you see the wreck take place. Yeah, it was a 30 of Schmier and Eddie Trejo getting into it further back. A big crash out of turn 2. We'll watch this again. You see contact, Terry Silvers just washes right up into the third. He gets him into the wall, and then he makes contact with Levi Cox, who was then hit by Eddie Trejo, and just a 3-car accident in the back. Levi Cox going to end up taking some more damage to that 48 machine, as well as Eddie Trejo in the 11. You see them, all 3 of them, are going to come out from this relatively wounded, I'd say. They're all in Chevy SS's, and just you can see the carnage unfold out of turn 2 there. Trejo locking it down to try and keep from doing any more damage to that Haas CNC machine. All in all, those guys all going to take some more damage. They already had some damage to their cars, and unfortunately, again, even more damage to those cars. But back up to the front, I think that penalty will be sorry, mouthful. I think that penalty will be waived on the number 22 car, as he is still your leader. Mark Emerson will continue on in the number 22. Again, that's just such a nice paint scheme. It's just so aesthetic. I'm a painter myself, so it really makes me happy to see a good paint scheme like that. But I think that penalty will be waived, considering he did pass below the inside line by the start-finish line, but he was avoiding the 30 car, or sorry, the 20 car. So I think it was let go by the race stewards, so he will take over the lead. Steven Turner just never got a chance to get to that lead and see what he could do with it in that number 26 car. But he will restart second one more time to see what he can do with the 22 on this final run to the checkers. As I pull up the Twitch feed, if there's anyone watching that wants to make some bets on who you think will end up winning this thing, or even on Facebook, since we've got a few viewers on Facebook, go ahead and leave your predictions in the chat on who you think will walk away with the win tonight. Clearly, I think the obvious pick would have to be Mark Emerson, but if you were to go out on a limb and pick the driver who did not start fourth and then end up leading 65 laps, 15 laps prior to the end of the race, let me know who you think will end up winning here tonight. Obviously, Mark Emerson, probably the obvious pick, but if you were going to go out on a limb and pick someone to upset that number 22 car, let me know who you think it would be. We've got the Twitch chat rolling as well as the Facebook chat, so again, let me know your picks for the win here. I don't think, we're not rolling on Facebook or YouTube, unfortunately, but we did get up and going on Facebook and Twitch, so that's what matters to me. But you can also catch this race when it is archived on YouTube, as all of our races are at one point or another posted on YouTube. You can catch it there. And I believe these guys will be coming to the 1-to-go signal this time by. And that they are. Mark Emerson getting ready to go for one more time. And looks like he'll have 12 laps to work with. And that means that Steven Turner will have 12 laps to try and catch back up to the 22 on the inevitable jump he gets on this restart from having the choice of when to restart. And yeah, Tanner Webb saying the only one who could possibly upset Mark is Steve-O. And yeah, I think that's totally right. I think the only way anybody's going to beat him is if the 26 gets up there and challenges him. He'll have 12 laps to figure out exactly how he's going to do that in the Winston Chevrolet. And yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure if we can or not. Obviously, the 22 has been the strongest car out here. He started fourth. I'm not sure if there was a draw or qualifying before the race. Actually, yeah, there was qualifying. I came in the 5 minutes that it was up. So he ended up qualifying fourth, and that's kind of surprising considering the speed we've seen out of that number 22 the rest of this race. But as these guys get ready to go back green out of turn 4, this could possibly be the final restart of the night, which means this is what matters. We'll wait for the 22's front end to lift up, and he is off and away on the loud pedal. Actually, here comes Terry Silvers through on the bottom side. Looks like he has something to say about who's going to challenge that 22 car for the win here tonight. Terry Silver's trying to put his name in the bag. Caution back out in the back. I think that's going to be Levi Cox, and it is. I think he had help, though, possibly from the 20 of John Peterson, who sits parked in turns 1 and 2. He'll have to escape off the track. Looks like his damage was too much. So I think this starts actually with Levi Cox. And yeah, contact in the quad oval, and they end up making contact into turn 1. Also, the 30 is Schmier is involved. I think the 97 and Sam Devontier saves the car on the apron. And that was a heck of a drive by the 97. He will get through that one unscathed, thankfully. But huge damage for Levi Cox and John Peterson as well as Schmier. And you can see there's no front clip on that 48. I don't think there's a rear either. And just big damage to that 48 car. He'll have to get repairs for the rest of the race, just about, I believe. So we'll go back and watch this one more time. Actually, we'll watch this from the 48's onboard, so you can ride along with the 48 of Levi Cox here. He was making it 3 wide. There just wasn't room, and contact was made. He ends up getting into it with the 20 car, and that's the resulting incident. Now you can see him rolling down the pit lane. So, on that restart, I think the biggest news of the day, at least in the last 20 or so laps, is now Terry Silvers, otherwise known as Vibe, is now into the second position. The reason this matters a bunch is obviously we saw him just go right on by the 26 on the bottom side, even though they started in different rows. Now, the reason he was able to do that is the shorter radius, obviously through the quad oval and, of course, the corners. So that's going to play into hand now for the 26 of Steven Turner. So I think Steve-O now has a chance to actually get up there and try and, I guess, beat the 22. Obviously Tanner Webb, very familiar with this league, is saying that he's the only one that can challenge Mark Emerson, and I think he's totally right. So Steven Turner now in the prime position to try and do so by virtue of that caution and getting passed up. It sounds weird, but because he was passed by Terry Silvers, he now has a better chance to go win this race. Jeff Wilkinson agrees with Tanner Webb. There's no way anyone's going to catch the 22. I have to agree, honestly, as well. Hopefully we do see the 26 get up there and challenge the 22. Obviously, my job is to cover the action, so I'd like to see some action pop up and be able to cover it for you guys. Chase Howard saying the 48's had one bad night. That's definitely the case. Let's head back into my Twitch chat. And yeah, I think on this restart, we should have about 7 laps to go, possibly 6, when we get restarted, because there's this lap and at least one more. So we'll either have 6 or 7 laps to go on this restart. We'll see if we get the 1 to green signal the next time by. By the way, these guys are doubling up. I'd say they will be getting the 1 to green signal this time back around. And let's cover the one bit of familiarity we have once more. Trevor Harmon in the Pit Stop TV machine, obviously sponsored by myself and Brandon Elshoff at PSI TV. You can see just the plain blue paint scheme there on the 29. That is made to model his real-life race car. He has a, I forget the year, actually. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure on the year Camaro it is, but he has a dirt street stock made out of a Chevy Camaro, and he races it in Arizona, and these guys do have the 1 to green signal here. But that paint scheme is made to model that race car of his, so it's pretty cool to have his real life car kind of, or his real life career, I guess, kind of crossing paths with his iRacing career, if you will, in leagues and official racing. So that's the story behind the plain blue paint scheme on the number 29 of Trevor Harmon, and actually he blinked right there just a little bit, and that kind of happens living on the West Coast. But he'll continue on. He'll be restarting in the 4th position, and actually I think this is as good a time as ever to decide to go on board with him for a restart. So thankfully I can't put the pressure on manually, or he'd probably he and I are friends, so I'll just leave it at that. But we'll see what he can do here out of turn 4, restarting in the 4th position. These guys will have 7 laps to go. And yeah, we'll see what anyone can do with this 22 car. He's been on rails all night. He's led already about 70 laps of this 90 lap event. And again, I mean, we've been talking about it in the chat. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to catch him. But if someone has a pick, go ahead and make it now. The 22 off and away. The rest of the field going to try and catch up on this restart. Steven Turner down to the bottom side, trying to get his nose underneath Terry Silvers into turns 1 and 2. We'll see if he can do it. He will, and he's going to go right on by the 23. As you can see from the onboard view on the 29, Steve-O through to second place, and actually the battle is raging on behind. Sam Devontier going to go low of Trevor Harmon, trying to make the pass for 4th. It's not going to happen, and actually Alex going to come by on the top side and try and make the pass for 5th. And so now the 18, M&M's Toyota Camry trying to come around Trevor Harmon on the top side through the quad oval, trying to go for 4th. Now he has 5th. We'll see if he can carry his momentum out of turn 2 and make the move. He will do just that. Now Sam Devontier trying to look for positions on the bottom side, trying to look for clean air. Won't have it. Alec now through to the 4th position. Trevor Harmon drops to 5th. Now he's got to try and defend against the 97 once more. Back up to the front. Terry Silvers in 3rd. Steve-O in 2nd. And Mark Emerson still has about a 4/10 of a second lead over the 26. But this isn't as big as we've seen on previous restarts. So this could possibly mean the 26 has a sliver of a chance. Mark Emerson takes the 4 to go signal from the flagman, holding 4 fingers down to show these guys they got 4 more chances around this 1.5 mile speedway to try and make something happen with Mark Emerson. So far, nothing out of the 26, just about a 100th of a second made back up over these last couple of laps. He's there, though. We'll go on board with him as they come around to take 3 to go. He is certainly there and trying to make something happen with this 22. But he's just too far back. I don't think he has a chance to actually get up there. He's trying to use a mix of the draft and clean air to get up. I don't think there's any way he can do it. The gap is just too big, and at a place like this, I just don't think he has the resources at his hands to do it. But you saw him close up a bunch there through turns 1 and 2. He might be starting to gain back on him. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there and make a pass, but he might at least be able to get there. Yeah, 2 to go this time by, as Tanner Webb said in the chat. Just 2 more chances, 3 miles for Steve-O to try and make a move. Further back, there's a battle for 3rd. Terry Silvers drops into 4th. Sam Devontier got around Trevor Harmon for 5th. He's now got to work with the 30 of Shamir, try and hold him off. As back up to the front, Steve-O is still trying to make up time on Mark Emerson. The interval now 4/10 of a second. I think that 26 is starting to fall off. You see the tires possibly starting to wear off on that Winston Chevy SS. He actually closed back in a little bit, but white flag is out. I don't think there's any chance that the 26 gets there. It's just too little too late. You see him trying to use the draft, trying to find any possible way to get it to Mark Emerson, but I don't think it's going to be done. The 22 just has to round the corners one more time, and he will do just that. Coming out of turn 4, Mark Emerson is your winner from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And so Mark Emerson wins the Southern Spoon Cup Series All-Star Race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he does so by leading, let's see, how many laps was that? 79? 79 of 90 laps here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway that he led. That's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I don't care who you are. That is just one heck of a run. When it comes to league racing, I've only seen one other guy that can do that kind of thing. That's got to be Tyler Justice. That's incredible out of Mark Emerson in that number 22. I'll let him now know, actually, over Discord that I can't bring anyone up. So I'll try and message him real quick and see if I can do that. But We'll watch as he celebrates this win. All right, so I'm assuming we'll be doing some interviews here tonight, but it will take just a moment. So we'll go back and see a replay of his burnouts here from Charlotte. The number 22 obviously has all right to celebrate after that win. That was a big one right there for Mark Emerson to take home the Silver Spoon Cup Series All-Star Race win. Let's see if he has anything for me. We're gonna try and get some interviews going, so we'll give you a slow-mo of this burnout to watch, and I'm gonna try and sort that out. Alec, do you have a copy? All right, let me make sure we're coming over the right device here. Can you key up one more time? Yeah, I'm just working on getting... I updated to Windows 10 today, so I'm just fixing the audio. I didn't know this was a problem. So one moment while I straighten it out. And we will get the third place driver in here for an interview. Can you key it real quick? Man, I do, but OBS is being picky. All right, we got you now. We got you now, loud and clear. So, the 18, we only have you down as Alec, but you drove a heck of a race. You drove right back by some of those guys in the closing laps. Can you tell us how you got it done here tonight for third place here, Alec?
Yeah, I thought our M&M's Toyota Camry was fast today. It was good on the long run if you knew how to save tires, which was cool. That it was good that I was able to actually save some of the tires and get by. But when he had that restart with about 8 laps to go, I knew that if I had a chance at getting up to Mark and Steve, that I probably needed to get by. I restarted fifth, and then I didn't get a good restart, so I had to make my way up. It's just if I would have had maybe another 10, 20 more laps, I could have probably got up to maybe contend with them. But it was fast. It was good. Like that last round, I was able to pass them all on the outside, which I was surprised because everybody's running the inside. But I'm glad that my team gave me a great car. It was awesome, stupid fast. So we go on to is good confidence, good confidence for the next season coming up, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, I'm new to the series, so I'm not totally sure on exactly all the storylines with the series. But it sounds like you may be one of the front runners, possibly in that number 18. It certainly ran pretty good tonight, as you said, stupid fast. I think that's a pretty good, at least analogy of the top three by the end there. Mark, Steve-O, and yourself. Is there anyone that you want to thank for your run out here tonight?
Yeah, I think Mark, Jordan, and Tanner putting gotta thank my team for getting me here, and gotta thank you for doing the broadcast. So I hope all the fans enjoyed.
Yeah, it was certainly a heck of a race out there. Good job on your third place tonight. And if we get to cover any more of these races with this league, best of luck in the future.
Thank you, and thank you for doing the broadcast. Have a good day.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
You too.
As I try and line up the next couple of guys, we'll message Mark, since he is the guy running the show. See if he can get the next guy in here. That'd be second place Steve-O in here, hopefully. So give him just a moment to get him into the booth.
We're in a 28-3.
All right, you're here. So, Steve-O, kind of a weird way to say hello, but nice to have you up in the booth. You ran really good. It looked like you were the only one that had a chance to challenge Mark Emerson up there for the win tonight. Do you think with a few more laps you could have had a chance, or were your tires going away?
I think maybe 2 more laps I probably would have been able to get around him. I just didn't get a good restart, and he got a good jump, and I think that's why he got us.
Yeah, certainly. It looked like, obviously, whoever had the lead, minus the one restart out of the 20 car, just pulled away a ton, and you couldn't catch them at all for the most part, aside from that initial run where Emerson did actually pass the leader. I forget exactly who that was. But you certainly ran a great race, and I do have one question for you, since I didn't get clarification before the race. Are these open setup or fixed setup races?
These are fixed setup races. In the beginning, we were modifying the setups, but they were modifying them to different users' kind of feels for a car. So now it's all just straight fixed from iRacing.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for that clarification, because, yeah, I didn't get a chance before the race to get that completely clarified. So I was a little bit left in the dark on that, and it was no fault of anyone, but thanks for the clarification. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to for your run here tonight at Charlotte?
Just like to thank the guys in my chat. Thank you for broadcasting the race, and VRL for hosting the league, and look forward to running it next season, maybe.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'm not sure if we'll get to cover any more races here on PSI TV from this league, but if we do, hope to talk to you then. Again, great job with the second place run tonight. Hopefully we get to talk to you in the future.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
You too, man. And I will message Mark one more time. Actually, I might be able to jump down there. Mark, do you have a copy?
Oh, you moved. Yes, I do, I believe.
Alrighty. Well, Mark Emerson, you led, let's see, let's get the actual stat. I believe it was 79. Yeah, 79 out of 90 laps en route to winning the Southern Spoon All-Star race tonight. How'd you do it?
Lots and lots of practice before the race. I went out there, I tested it out. I did about 30 laps per run just to make sure what the tire wear was feeling like. Had a lot of help from Jordan Ashland Jacasso. He wasn't here today. I don't really know why. I tried to get him here, but he was missing. So.
Well, you certainly did really good in that number 22 regardless. Again, leading 79 out of 90 laps. You won all 3 segments, and I think you only missed a couple of laps under cautions, and then the initial first few laps, since you started 4th and not 1st. Obviously, I'm not totally familiar with all the storylines here in the Southern Spoon Cup Series, but if you could kind of, I guess, lend us the direction of the series in the future, that'd be great.
Well, the winner of this race got 5 bonus points for the next series. So, I mean, they can put it in their Cup or Truck Series. We run both of those. They will both be starting up next week on Saturday. We actually just started the Cup Series. It was just kind of like a put-together thing that we did about 2 weeks ago. And we'll be running that next week, starting the series.
Sounds good, man. Well, once more, congratulations on the win in your Coca-Cola Ford Fusion. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout-out to help you out get that win?
VRL for sponsoring this. Tanner Webb, especially, his restaurant sponsored this, the Southern Spoon. Jacasso he helped me out with the running these lines and figuring out where to brake and what kind of brake biases to be running. And Steve-O for giving me a good competition at the end there. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it looked like at the end there, he was the only one that was going to have any chance to challenge you, and you still walked away with the win. So once more, congratulations on the big win here tonight. And whether or not we get to cover any more of these races in the future, best of luck in future races.
You too. Thanks for broadcasting.
No problem. It was our pleasure. All right, and that was Mark Emerson, the winner tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway of the Southern Spoon All-Star Race. You heard the explanation there on exactly what Southern Spoon is. So Tanner Webb's Restaurant. The name sounds pretty good. Sounds like I'd want to eat there, honestly. So obviously check the Southern Spoon out. I'm not sure how to find them on social media. So Tanner, if you're still out there, if you could give us some kind of link or something to track Southern Spoon down, that'd be great. That'd be really, really helpful. Sounds, again, like a place that maybe somebody would want to check out if they were in the area. So if you could help us out there, I'll stay live for just another couple of moments. Let's see. I'm checking our Twitch chat now for the first time in about 20 minutes. You know, I believe the restart was waived because he was missing somebody who was slow on the restart. I think that was the explanation there. The volume being low. Let's see. We'll try and turn this up then. I was not aware that I was that low. Let me see if I can crank this up a little bit. Does this sound a little better? I wonder. And yeah, we had Car 97 out there. That was Sam Devontier. He ran a great race. And thanks for the input there. Optimal speed definitely helped out. All right, thanks guys. I wasn't aware that it was that low. All right, so yeah, this is new to us, getting onto the Twitch side of things, as well as Facebook, our main place to stream. I'll actually include our Facebook link in the Twitch chat real quick. Let me type it in here. That is our Facebook link. And if you guys want to see us do anything in the future, be it podcasts, just the normal race broadcast that we already have set up to do, or whatever else, if you have any suggestions on what we can do in the future, let us know on Facebook at that link. You can message the page and give us any of your feedback. It's always welcome, no matter what it is. And as we wait on the link from Tanner Webb, that will be what we close the show down with. And yeah, this will be going on YouTube. And real quick, the 97 actually has a request for us to check out one thing there at the end of the race. So let me get over back to IRTVO. We'll get the logo out of your way for just a moment. And we'll try and switch back to the 97 car. And let me know if I'm saying your name terribly wrong. I think it's Sam Devontier, possibly. Could be terribly, terribly wrong. If I am, I apologize. And let's see, it's for some reason going to other drivers. I don't know why. Alright, so we'll see if we can find the 97 now. Find where he had his issue there with the 97. Or he is the 97, it's possibly with the 29. I believe this is a few laps to go, so we'll leave the volume down on the race. And actually, this may have been it. No, I believe this was still with a couple of laps to go, so we'll wait for the issue to pop up, but we'll get to see it when it happens. And Soundwave actually just gave us, so yeah, Tanner gave us the link there. So definitely check out facebook.com/Southern Spoon. I will also put that in the Facebook chat if I have the chance here. Or Tanner, if that's you coming back, you can. So we'll wait on the issue to pop up here with the 97. He requested that we take a look back at it, so we'll do our best to do that real quick. And again, everyone, thanks for tuning in on Twitch, Facebook, or in the future on YouTube. Normally, we'll be streaming on all 3 platforms. Unfortunately, we had an issue tonight with YouTube that I'll try and fix for future events. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'd imagine in about a lap or so, we'll see what happens with the 97. So just give it a moment. I think we're actually coming to it, considering these guys are pretty much on top of each other now. So we'll see what happens here, and then we'll close the showdown for the night. Again, this is some replay coverage from the Southern Spoon All-Star Race. So we'll see what happens here with the 97 car of Sam Devontier and the 23 of Terry Silvers coming to... This may not have been the checkers, actually. Actually, no, I think that was, because you see the 97 end up going through the grass. And he's going to end up back across the track. Locked it down, though. No one hits him somehow. So good job of locking it down and keeping it somewhat under control there. And yeah, I think that will be it for our coverage here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you've enjoyed, obviously make sure to follow us on social media, or definitely give this stream a like, as well as following us. And you can always catch our future streams. In the morning, we'll be live with virtual oval racing from Concord Speedway with the super late model. So some great short track action will be coming this morning if you're in the right time zone for them, or tomorrow morning if you're in the U.S. And tomorrow night we'll have a couple of events. That will be the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series qualifying from Daytona, getting ready for their duels, which will be going Monday night. And after the qualifying, we'll also have the IRAPS clash from Bristol for the PSI TV Super Series over in the NMNTS Racing Series. So definitely check out both of those streams, actually all 3 of those streams tomorrow. It's going to be a jam-packed day. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to broadcast those 3 races and then try and watch the NASCAR clash right in the middle. So let's see if I can get that Southern Spoon link in the chat real quick. And then we'll close the show down for the night. Or Tanner, if you are back, you can do it, if you manage to do it before I get back over there. But again, thanks everyone for tuning in. It is always a pleasure to cover these races, and I got to thank Southern Spoon and this racing. The Southern Spoon Cup Series. Obviously, I think it's VRL that the league operates within. So yeah, let me get the name in the chat. Hopefully, maybe, if Facebook decides to cooperate sometime this year. And there we go. That is now in the chat for everyone to check out. So again, thank you for tuning in here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been a pleasure, as always, to cover this race. And yeah, again, come back tomorrow for 3 more events. We'll have Super Late Model Racing in the morning from Concord Speedway, followed by the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series qualifying from Daytona, and then the IRAPS clash at Bristol for the NMNTS Super Series. So make sure you tune in for all of that. We'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great night.
Are you done, Andrew?